If you want to win some free PSN or Xbox gift cards, all you gotta do is be subscribed to my channel, drop a like on this video, leave a comment down below, and don't forget to turn on notifications. Also, if you guys want to get your hands on some cheap Master Prestige accounts for any Call of Duty games, check out DigiZani. The link will be down in the description, and make sure to use code GOBLIN. Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin, and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 3 video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about new DLC weapons and the August contraband that we are most likely going to be receiving into Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Of course, Days of Summer event is now over. We're into that August section and that last home stretch before we get into the next Call of Duty game, where debatably BO3 might stop supporting it because that would be the end of its second life cycle. We'll talk about that in a second. You guys absolutely crushed the likes on last night's video on how to get a nuke. If you guys haven't checked that out, you guys can do that. Please, let's go for 2,000 likes. Again, if you guys could smash that like button, I would really appreciate that if we could get over 2,000 likes. Also, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And let's get right into this. So, Days of Summer event is over. It was quite a disappointment. The main thing is that the Days of Summer, Treyarch actually kind of lied to us, or they kind of misled us a little bit, because they did say everyone would have a chance at a Pack-a-Punch camo. That was their pretty much their quote, and everyone believed that would mean a community contract for a Pack-a-Punch camo, or a community contract for a DLC weapon, or, you know, definitely some sort of community contract. What ended up happening is we only got the Cherry Fizz camo, which isn't a Pack-a-Punch camo to my knowledge, and to what I've heard and talked about throughout the YouTube community. That's not from anything in Zombies, so I'm guessing they just switched that out. And also, the Cherry Fizz camo was kind of a gimmick because it was only in supply drops for a limited time, like a week. It wasn't actually available through a community contract or available for free like they promised that we would get. So the Days of Summer event, now that it's wrapped up, it was quite a disappointment and out of all that stuff, but it's wrapped up and we're into August, which now we have to talk about DLC weapons. We have to talk about the possibility of new camos and still community contracts coming out. So what I think they're going to do is, what they've been doing is every 6 to 8 weeks, they've been dropping DLC weapons. That's how it's been pretty much. I mean, there's been different weeks where they took off, or maybe they took a month off, and maybe they did them more rapidly. But usually it's every 6 to 8 weeks. So basically every 2 months there is a drop. And that has been happening ever since Black Ops 3 December, when it came out, and then the first weapons were in December. So this is the second year of its life cycle, and they've stuck to that script. So we got new DLC weapons 3 weeks ago. So my assumption here is for August contraband, we're either going to be getting the August contraband right around the time, or probably right before the beta for Call of Duty World War II comes out, because that comes out on the 25th or the 26th, I believe. So I would think that they would want to put that out right before, or perhaps wait until right after the beta and then drop it, because that would work perfectly with their 6 to 8 weeks, and that's what I think would happen with these new DLC weapons. So for these DLC weapons, we have to go back to this old list, which was leaked so long ago, and I'll show the list up on the screen. This is still what we're looking at for a potential of DLC weapons, as well as anything from BO2, because that's what they've been drawing from most recently, is a lot of stuff from BO2 or previous Treyarch games. Of course, you guys can see on this list, Desert Eagle would be a pistol, double barrel shotgun like the Olympia, DSR 50, we already have the DBSR 50, this one kind of came true. FAMAS, of course, already came true. FFAR, flintlock pistol, that is kind of true, I guess you could say. It's kind of like that laser pistol that we have in Black Ops 3, a more advanced version of a flintlock pistol, but I guess we kind of do have that. The FN Scar, which would be absolutely awesome. The Scar is one that I would love to see, and although it's more of an Infinity Ward gun, if that came out, I think it would fit in perfectly into Black Ops 3, and that's why I would be super hyped to see the Scar, whether it's the FN Scar, Scar H, Scar L. It would be absolutely amazing. Thompson from World at War would be an option also, but I think that we're going to be getting that into World War II. I mean, I guess that would sort of go along with the theme, whatever you guys want to say about that. The LSAT, Black Ops 2, we do have a new LMG. It was the R70 Ajax, which was not the LSAT, but we did get an LMG. M1 Garand, of course, came true. MDR is some sort of an assault rifle. MP7 from Black Ops 2. I think this one is super likely to come. And then we have Sawed-Off, Turok, Uzi, ZH-05. Now, once again, this list was leaked a very long time ago. And if I'm looking at this list and judging for it, if we're sticking to that 6 to 8 week script, we're probably going to have 2 new weapon drops. The one that I just talked about, which is going to be either right before the beta or right after the beta, and then one more going up like before the World War II is released. After World War II is released, this is something I want to ask you guys in the comment section down below. Do you think they will be dropping more DLC weapons and keep supporting Black Ops 3 after World War II is released? In my personal opinion, I would say hell no. I would bet that they wouldn't, because they'll be working on Black Ops 4, whatever the next Call of Duty game is. Obviously, they've already been working on it, but that's really crunch time when it comes down to getting the trailers ready, getting everything finalized for people to play. It's only like, you know, a year away from the reveal, or less than a year from the reveal of what I hope would be Black Ops 4. If it was Black Ops 4, that'd be absolutely lit, but that's when I think they're going to stop. So I think we're due for 2 new DLC weapon drops. Now, from this list, what I think we could see is we could see some sort of an Uzi, LSAT, Thompson, FN Scar, or maybe even a Desert Eagle. That's what I would say from this list. But then, of course, if we're looking at past Treyarch games and how the drops have gone so far, I think ones that are still up for option are going to be M27, MSMC, R870, maybe even Commando, stuff like that, because they did have the Galil from Black Ops 1, and that's how I think every sort of DLC weapon we're going to get from this time on should be predictable, like the ones that most of the ones on this list are predictable, like most of the ones I just mentioned are predictable. And I think that, you know, we're not going to be surprised and see some weird weapons. If it is a weapon with a weird name, it's probably just a remake from a previous Treyarch game or from a previous Call of Duty game, and that's what I think we can expect here. Now, my question for you guys is, if we think about it, we have 2 more weapon drops. That probably means 4 more weapons coming, and they're going to be all sorts of stuff. They're not going to be all, you know, all assault rifles or all SMGs. You have to think about it logically. So say we have 4 more weapons coming. Melee weapons, we probably won't get any more, and that's why I didn't really talk about the melee weapon list. But if we do, that would be, you know, we'd have to wait and see. But say we get 4 more weapons. Which 4 would you guys like to see? I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below. Now, this would be my top 4. These are my top 4 draft picks right now. Number 1, the FN Scar. Number 2, MSMC. Number 3, MP7. And number 4, Commando. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, because that would be 2 assault rifles, 2 SMGs. I think more realistically, something we could see would be something like M27, MSMC, Desert Eagle. I don't know about Desert Eagle, but some sort of pistol, and then an LSAT, or maybe Ballista and then LSAT, you know, something where it's a variety of different guns. I want you guys to leave me your top 4. They don't even have to be from this list that I talked about or from, you know, the previous Call of Duty games. Just your top 4 that, I mean, I guess that most of them are going to be from previous Call of Duty games, but leave the top 4 that you'd like to see down in the comment section down below. Now, the other part of this is a lot of people are talking about new camos. We had that leak of camos a month ago, and a lot of them still haven't come into the game. Like I said, they said there's going to be a Pack-a-Punch community contract. I think we're going to be getting that, and if we're not going to be getting a community contract, because I think they might try to do the scumbag route and put it into supply drops as a limited edition camo, I think definitely that's what we're going to see. We are still going to see some more camos and some more gear. And of course, that's something that a lot of people overlook, is when they do these contrabands, and pretty much every month there's some sort of contraband, even if it's not DLC weapons. So out of these contraband, is going to be August contraband, which we haven't seen yet, September, and October. So 3 more months. We're probably going to see more camos, and the camos are just going to get more awesome at this point. They're definitely going to be from zombies. That's their favorite thing, is take old weapons, or take for weapons they take them from previous games. For camos they take them from zombies. That's just their go-to stuff. So I think we're going to see some more camos, some more exclusive camos, whether they're in supply drops, probably community contract, which they kind of promised us and kind of still owe us, would be awesome. And I think that's what we're going to see as far as the camos. Now for camos, the predictions would just be based off of anything that you've seen in zombies that's not in the game right now. Of course, we have the different Pack-a-Punch colors, which are kind of like the dark matter colors. We have a bunch of other ones that also came from zombies so far into Black Ops 3, but zombies has a multitude of camos, and there's still plenty of work for them to do there. And I think that we're going to see new weapons. I can pretty much confirm that. But as far as camos, I would say 50-50 shot whether we see new camos. I would actually say 60-65%, because I would bet that we do see new camos. But how they come out, we don't really know. How DLC weapons come out, they've never ventured on that, except for one time with the boxing gloves, where they did that through a community contract. But that was just sort of like a melee skin. I guess people call them melee weapons, but in reality, they're just sort of melee skins. And it's a lot different from bringing out an actual new DLC weapon. Of course, the the DLC guns usually have more hype and they're at the epic tier compared to the legendaries, which are the melee weapons. But that's my thoughts on this August contraband, something I want to talk about. August just started and what we're going to see. You guys let me know down below what you guys think, what you guys want to see, your top 4 like I said. Do you guys care about melee weapons? Do you guys care about the camos, or is it all about the DLC weapons for you? Leave a comment down below, drop a like on this thing, 2,000 likes, sub for a cookie, and don't looky. And I look forward to reading your comments, guys. Have a great night. I'm out. Peace.